It's war in Varanasi. Rahul Gandhi is having a roadshow, a 10-kilometer long show of strength through the streets of Varanasi, just on a day when at around 5 p.m. campaigning will come to a close in the city and in several other constituencies, 41 in number. This is for the final phase of election 2014. For the Congress party, it is a candidate which perhaps might not be seen the strongest in the fray as far as Varanasi is concerned. He's up against BJP's Prime Ministerial candidate Narendra Modi. Many within the BJP are saying that now it is the margin of victory, and both Arvind Kejriwal, who's the other contestant, and Congress's Ajay Rai will clearly lose their deposit. But that can be tall claims made by the BJP. As far as the Congress party is concerned, their star face, a star campaigner, has descended on Varanasi with massive number of supporters on the streets, snaking through it, making sure that as far as the Congress party and his candidate is concerned, they get maximum push. But is this push coming too late in the day? The Aam Aadmi party is nervous. They're having meetings across the city. Arvind Kejriwal clearly looking at the fact that perhaps minorities might get swayed by this final push of the Congress party. And Sanjay Jha of the Congress party joining me on the phone line. Sanjay Jha, many are saying that this final push by Rahul Gandhi perhaps might be too little too late.
Maruf, let me tell you that at the ground level there has been phenomenal support for the Congress, not just in Varanasi but across eastern Uttar Pradesh. Now what you're witnessing today in Varanasi is the fact that it's all there, publicly out there on the streets, on the roads. I mean, but the point that I wish to make is that the support for the Congress party has been enormous all through the entire election campaign. And I think Mr. Gandhi is sending out here a very categorical message to all those who have believed that, Mr. Modi apparently, by some opinion polls, including your channel, apparently having a head start is nothing but a notion that will be smashed to smithereens come the election.
Mr. Sanjay Jha, the BJP is saying that now it is the margin by which Narendra Modi will win, and clearly Arvind Kejriwal and your candidate Ajay Rai is even going to lose his deposit.
Well, I can tell you for a fact that Mr. Modi was extremely concerned. He was perturbed, which is why they put up this whole tamasha of the dharna against the election commission at the ground level. Let me assure you, Mr. Ajay Rai has been, he's a sitting MLA. He has been part of the Varanasi life for a considerable period of his political career. End of the day, Varanasi does not need a helicopter hovering man who just shines on, on television studios. What is needed is somebody at the ground level. The people of Varanasi know that they need an MP who's going to be there with them through thick and thin, who's going to work in developing Varanasi. So Mr. Gandhi's, as I said, today is the last day of the campaigning for the entire election, Maruf. And I think this will be
but isn't this a tit for tat to Narendra Modi? Narendra Modi lands in Amethi, then Rahul Gandhi says, okay, I also need to land up in Varanasi. Clearly to show that it's more of a message or an answer to Narendra Modi than anything else.
Well, I can tell you for a fact that, you see it's a matter of a few days now. The results from both Amethi and Varanasi will be out. But Mr. Modi has been indulging in his campaign in cosmetics. In Varanasi, we believe we have a very, very strong opportunity to win the election, both against the BJP as well as Mr. Arvind Kejriwal. And that's the reason why Mr. Rai has always been, while others have been talking to the media, he's been out there campaigning. And I can tell you today, you can see the public support for Mr. Rai and the Congress party.
Okay, Sanjay Jha, I'm going to hold you to that. Thanks so much for joining us this morning. It is the Congress's answer to the BJP. Sanjay Jha might deny it, but 2 days after Narendra Modi's roadshow, the Congress Vice President has embarked on this 10-kilometer show of strength through the streets of Varanasi. Those are live shots that are coming in, with top Congress leaders flanking him. Rahul atop a floor deck truck began his roadshow from Pili Koti. But what does this roadshow really mean? Ankit Tyagi, our reporter on the ground from Lanka Gate. Remember, Lanka Gate is that one place right outside the Banaras Hindu University where Arun Jaitley and Amit Shah of the BJP were holding fort and complaining against the Election Commission from stopping Narendra Modi's rally in Varanasi. It is that same spot where Rahul Gandhi today will culminate this entire roadshow and perhaps even address his cadres. Let's see what exactly does this mean for Rahul Gandhi on the ground. Ankit Tyagi with this report.
It's the last day of campaigning in Banaras and a late surge by the Congress and the Samajwadi Party. This is where Rahul Gandhi's big road show, his answer to Narendra Modi, what he did in Amethi, the attack, the rule that Narendra Modi broke of going to the constituency of another big wig, that has been now given an answer by Rahul Gandhi. I am here outside the BHU. This is the Kashi Hindu Vishwavidyalaya, the famous seat of learning in this entire area. This is the hotbed of politics in the last few days. Narendra Modi's roadshow started from here. Arvind Kejriwal's roadshow started from here, and Rahul Gandhi, in an opposite, is starting his roadshow from Pili Koti, the minority-dominated area, and will be coming here to Banaras Hindu University. For the first time in many days, you can see the enthusiastic Congress lot here. Already there are flags of the Congress party and all these workers, those who have gathered here. Let me just go across and speak to a few of them. आप यहाँ पर आए हुए हैं, राहुल गांधी का रोड शो यहाँ पे खत्म होगा. आज आखिरी दिन है कैंपेनिंग का. आपको लगता है इससे वोटर आपकी तरफ झुकेगा या ऑलरेडी वो अपना मन बना चुके हैं?
ऑलरेडी मन बनाए भी हैं और झुकेंगे. बहुत ज़्यादा चांसेस है झुकने का.
लगता नहीं है कि लेट हो गया है? राहुल गांधी को पहले थोड़ा करना चाहिए था. नरेंद्र मोदी यहाँ पे पूरा ताकत दिखा के गए, अरविंद केजरीवाल इतने दिनों से कर रहे हैं.
नहीं, ऐसा कोई बात नहीं. जैसा कि कांग्रेस सरकार अभी 10 सालों में इतना विकास दे दिया, हम लोग आज इंटरनेट इतने आधुनिकीकरण में जी रहे हैं, तो ऐसा आज तक कोई गवर्नमेंट नहीं की है. भाजपा है चाहे केजरीवाल कुछ नहीं. अगर केजरीवाल
इतना लेट क्यों आए राहुल गांधी?
ऐसा उनका लेट नहीं था, उनका प्रोग्राम ही लेट था. वो आएंगे और ये जनता को सबके बीच मिलेंगे. ये
जल्दी से मुझे बताइए कि कहीं लगता है कि राहुल गांधी सिर्फ जवाब देने आए हैं नरेंद्र मोदी का, जो उन्होंने अमेठी में जाके रैली करी?
नहीं, राहुल सरकार इस बार बनने जा रहा है. हम लोग पर बहुत पूर्ण बहुमत में जीतने जा रहे हैं.
Well, the Congress cadre here today, as I said, is very upbeat, is very positive, and they still believe that the Congress will do well. Rahul Gandhi's late surge, whether this culminates into some vote, whether it divides the minority vote and hurts the Aam Aadmi Party, that is something we'll only know on May 16th. But yes, another show of strength, another day of full color of political nature in Banaras. With camera person Sudhir Ankit Tyagi in Varanasi for Headlines Today.
This entire road show of Rahul Gandhi, the show of strength, has been organized by senior Congress leader Ghulam Nabi Azad. He, along with several leaders from the state and the centre, have been making sure that the numbers are there as Rahul moves through the streets of Varanasi. Let's listen in to Ghulam Nabi Azad.
अब आप जोश तो देख ही रहे. बनारस में कोई सुबह 7 बजे खड़ा रहता. बनारस में आमतौर पे 10-11 बजे के बाद लोग बाहर रहते हैं, क्योंकि रात को 2-3 बजे तक लोग जागते हैं और सुबह आराम से 11 बजे के बाद कामकाज शुरू होता है. लेकिन आज पहली दफा सब नौजवान बुजुर्ग सभी समुदाय के लोग सुबह 7 बजे से यहाँ हैं. तो इससे जोश तो है ही कांग्रेस के प्रति. वो सुबह तो नहीं किए थे ना 7 बजे. 7 बजे करके दिखाएं तो फिर बता दो.
Joining us from Lanka Gate, Ankit, we were just seeing the report that you sent us from the ground. Clearly, Lanka Gate now becoming almost the culmination of all these road shows, from Arun Jaitley and Amit Shah protesting there to Narendra Modi leaving from there, and now Rahul Gandhi also culminating his road show there.
Absolutely. This is a very important landmark as far as Banaras is concerned, Banaras Hindu University. Although there are no student union elections held inside the university, but this is a hotbed of politics and political discussion in Varanasi, Maruk. Narendra Modi starting his roadshow. In fact, when he came for his nomination also on 24th, he started it right from here, from the Madan Mohan Malviya's statue that is just outside the Banaras Hindu University. Behind me, you can see that there are few Congress supporters, those who have started gathering all around. There are a few Aam Aadmi Party workers also here. Let me just quickly go across and speak to them. In fact, a BJP supporter also. So there is a multi-color supporter from all the political parties. ये बताइए, आप लोग बीजेपी के हैं. नरेंद्र मोदी ने जिस तरीके से राहुल गांधी को अमेठी में जाके चैलेंज किया, आज राहुल गांधी का रोड शो है, काफी लोग इकट्ठे हो रहे हैं. आपको लगता है कि कांग्रेस का चैलेंज है बनारस में?
जी नहीं, ये तो कांग्रेस तो अभी कभी नजर नहीं आ रही थी. अभी केजरीवाल और ये जो नरेंद्र मोदी खाली नजर आ रहे थे. आज कांग्रेस ने जो अपना रोड शो चालू किया है
सुबह से लेकर ये, क्योंकि सुबह बनारस में दुकान बंद रहती है ज़्यादातर और मार्केट बंद रहता है, 11 बजे के बाद मार्केट खुलते हैं, इस वजह से उन्होंने ये सुबह का टाइम रखा है कि इससे वजह से थोड़ा भीड़ इकट्ठा हो जाए।
भीड़ तो जब मार्केट में लोग निकलते तब इकट्ठी होती है, नरेंद्र मोदी ने तो भीड़ के टाइम पे किया, यही कांग्रेस कह रही है। अरविंद केजरीवाल ने कल एक जबरदस्त रोड शो किया नरेंद्र मोदी के बाद यहाँ पे। अब कांग्रेस का आज आखिरी दिन है और राहुल गांधी आ गए हैं, जिस तरीके से वो रोड शो कर रहे हैं, आपको लगता है थोड़ी देर हो गई है कांग्रेस पार्टी की तरफ से?
बहुत देर हो गई है और उन्होंने तो मोरली मेंटली दे आर प्रिपेयर्ड दैट वी कांट विन दिस सीट।
But tell me one thing, it seems that the Congress is targeting the minority vote. That's the vote that Aam Aadmi Party also wants.
Yeah, this is the whole thing, but every people are the red blood and we are human, so no minority and no majority. That's why we are believing that every person is same. इंसान का
you आपको लगता है कि the Congress and the Samajwadi Party today, what they are doing, this is going to cut into your votes. This will create a problem for the Aam Aadmi Party.
मैं बिल्कुल समर्थन नहीं करूंगा। ये आम आदमी है, आम आदमी की जीत है और ऐसा कुछ भी नहीं है। हर पार्टी अपना जोर जरूर लगा रही, लेकिन जो काशी में कल हुआ,
किसमें? अरविंद केजरीवाल और नरेंद्र
मोदी और नहीं जरूर कल की रैली।
Let me also try and see if I can find somebody from the Congress. Well, I can find somebody from the Congress. He's here. आज आप कांग्रेस के राहुल गांधी यहाँ पर हैं, रोड शो कर रहे हैं, जिस तरीके से चारों तरफ लोग उनके समर्थन में आ रहे हैं। पहली बार मैं देख रहा हूँ इतने सारे कांग्रेस के झंडे और इतने सारे लोग आए हैं। क्या आज की जरूरत पड़ गई राहुल गांधी को बनारस में आके रोड शो करने की?
देखिए, राहुल गांधी के खिलाफ मोदी जी ने वहाँ जाके अमेठी में प्रचार प्रसार किया, तो ऐसे तो कभी ऐसे होता नहीं था। पर जब राहुल गांधी को ऐसी आवश्यकता समझ पड़ी कि नहीं, हमारे जो यहाँ के
फर्क पड़ेगा, कुछ नहीं पड़ेगा?
नहीं, फर्क बहुत पड़ेगा।
कितने वोट कटेंगे? माइनॉरिटी वोट मिल जाएंगे क्या?
जरूर जरूर।
कोटी से शुरू करा है उन्होंने।
नहीं, देखिए, रोड शो से अजय राय जी को बहुत ज्यादा फर्क पड़ेगा और इस मोदी जी की जितनी।
जल्दी से बताइए, टक्कर किसके बीच में है, अजय राय और मोदी के या?
अजय राय और मोदी जी के।
चलिए, दिस इज व्हाट द कांग्रेस इन फैक्ट इज सेइंग that the direct competition after this road show might be between Ajay Rai and the Congress, but and the BJP. I beg your pardon, but it doesn't seem to be the case. This is the first time I've seen some enthusiasm within the Congress cadre. They have come out today. This definitely might have some impact, might eat into some minority votes that Aam Aadmi Party is seeking very desperately. But yes, on May 16th we'll get to know whether this late surge of the Congress has any effect or not.
Anjana Om Kashyap is also joining us from Varanasi. Anjana, good morning. You understand the politics of Varanasi and Uttar Pradesh very well. Do you feel that this massive road show is going to have any impact? Is Congress going to get the edge thanks to Rahul Gandhi landing in Varanasi?
Very difficult, Maruf, very difficult. But very interestingly, what Narendra Modi did in Amethi a day before, the campaigning was supposed to end that day. Narendra Modi went on great rhetoric and attacked the entire Gandhi family with absolute, you can say, private accusations that he was making. Now today, Rahul Gandhi, very interestingly, has put in all the effort and all the biggies from Ghulam Nabi Azad to Salman Khurshid to Priya Dutt to Raj Babbar. A lot of people, Raj Babbar and all, because they're faces. Priya Dutt can pull people. So they've actually managed a huge road show. But if you could only gauge the winnability factor of a candidate by seeing people on the streets, it would be very difficult. But yeah, from the ground reality, I can tell you that most of the people I'm talking to are from Varanasi. Now that can be very important. So then now we're talking in terms of margin. Very difficult. If you're on ground zero, you would realize that definitely the Saffron Brigade has an edge over here and should not be difficult for Narendra Modi. But if these number of people who are turning out on the streets are actually from Varanasi, then probably the margin that Amit Shah or Modi is claiming should not be too much.
Interesting. Also, Anjana, I want you to throw some light on how Arvind Kejriwal and the Aam Aadmi Party would be looking at this. Now, we saw a very courageous and encouraging roadshow by Arvind Kejriwal yesterday through the streets of Varanasi. Do you think that the Aam Aadmi Party would be getting nervous now, considering the number of people and, like you say, most of them from Varanasi?
A little bit, yeah, because I was out on the streets yesterday also when Arvind Kejriwal was doing that roadshow. But what I can say is that he could not match this number. Now, if you look at the roadshow fight that's going on from Lanka Chowk when Modi started and went on to the BJP office, or what Arvind Kejriwal did last night and what Rahul Gandhi is trying to prove again, there's again news that Arvind Kejriwal might be out on the streets again. Now, what we're seeing today in Varanasi interestingly shows that Congress is at least trying to show we are here. They know the cameras are here, and all if you talk to Ghulam Nabi Azad or the other senior leaders, all they have to say is this is not a fight between two parties. It is between the media and the Congress. This is the level to which they have come. They think that it's all because of the media that we've not been able to do it. And today when the camera is here, let's make an impact. And from here now they want to take it forward. And they believe very firmly that this roadshow is going to change their fate. But Banaras has its own mood, its own timing, its own way of delivering. If you have a 30 second or so, I could make you talk to a few people here. आपको क्या लगता है राहुल गांधी के यहाँ आने से क्या चमत्कार हो जाएगा? क्या चमत्कार हो जाएगा राहुल गांधी के?
कम से कम राहुल के यहाँ आने से कांग्रेस यहाँ जीतेगी, बहुत बम्पर वोट से जीतेगी। ऐसा रोड शो होने जा रहा है जो चमत्कार हो जाएगा। मैं सिगरा का रहने वाला हूँ, मैं कांग्रेस का समर्थक हूँ मैडम, और राहुल गांधी यहाँ से कम 2 लाख वोट से जीतेंगे।
आपको पता है जो अजय राय यहाँ पर से चुनाव लड़ रहे हैं, ये सवाल मैं बार बार कर रही हूँ आप कि अजय राय मुख्तार अंसारी का समर्थन ले रहे हैं, वो दागी हैं। मुख्तार अंसारी पर आरोप है अजय राय के भाइयों की हत्या का।
मैडम वो बात अलग है, लेकिन चुनाव में सब जायज है और जो भी होगा सामने आप देखेंगी।
मतलब अगर किसी पर हत्या का आरोप है उसका साथ भी ले ले कोई भाई, आप लोगों को इसमें दिक्कत नहीं दिखाई देती? कहाँ गए फिर राहुल गांधी के आदर्श?
अभी देखिए ये आरोप है, आरोप सिद्ध नहीं हुआ है।
It's absolutely open in Maruf. People here are not ready to take in those important factors. They feel they have to give Modi a fight. And interestingly, I met a lot of even the Muslim candidate people yesterday.
Right.
I was interacting with them. They said that 60 to 70% of us will go with Kejriwal, but a whole lot of number here we are saying Ajay Rai. Now, if Muslim vote bank is divided, which is exactly 17%, roughly around 2.5 to 3 lakh people, then Modi will definitely benefit from that if Muslim voters are divided.
Interesting perspective there from Anjana Om Kashyap on the ground reporting for Headlines today. Anjana and Ankit, thanks so much for joining us.